Help us here at Alternate Reality to improve your kids' grades. Now, we know that good grades deserve a reward, and that's why we have the Alternate Reality Good Grades Club here at the store. If you have a grade school in the Chicagoland area, either city or suburbs, bring in their report card and we'll issue you one of these. Alternate Reality Good Grades Club card. Now, for each A, your grade schooler will receive a 2% discount, and for each B, a 1% discount. Now, based on this report card, this grade schooler is going to get an 11% discount here at the store for everything, all the time, all year long. So come on down to Alternate Reality, because good grades deserve a reward.
Sweet Talkin' Comics with Sweet Dan Sweet. Sweet.
Why, it's the most brilliantly diabolical leader of our time, surrounding himself with total nincompoops.
He's only doing this till a spot opens at Greenwood Disposal and Daycare. Dan Sweet fleshes out Jennifer Blood, #1, and Cinderella, #1.
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for
Sweet Dog with Sweet Dan Sweet and Comic Book Man.
in
Comic Book Man's Video Outhouse.
located at
The corner of 111th and Kedzie at beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood, Alternate Reality Incorporated.
which is a store.
That sells comic books and other stuff that you need to buy now.
And all new comics, as always, are 15% off every day for everyone. All my indie comics, all my DC comics, all my Vertigo comics, all my Dynamite comics, and
Everything.
all my Girl Power comics. And
Girl Power.
That's the theme of Dan's show today, Girl Power, or for those of us who are less politically correct, Chicks with Guns. Because it's a whole Chicks with Guns spectacular today. And we love Chicks with Guns here at the Outhouse.
We like their racks.
Whoa.
We don't?
I think
we
there's a
don't like
war in
that?
Iraq.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, Dan's talking about two books today. Cinderella, Fables Are Forever. It's the first part of a miniseries from DC Vertigo. It's a sequel to the previous Cinderella miniseries. What was that one called?
From Fabletown with Love.
From Fabletown with Love. And his other book is Jennifer Blood, which is a brand new title from Garth Ennis over at Dynamite. Who do you want to start with first?
We're going to start with Cinderella.
Okay.
If you're a fan of Fables,
Yeah.
the comic, or just in general,
Okay.
it's always fun to see like a new, unique twist on something that hasn't necessarily been done to death. Now, with the Cinderella miniseries from Fables, not creator, this is Chris Roberson, the guy who was picked to follow up Straczynski on Superman.
Right.
He got the gig from Willingham. They offered him the first Cinderella miniseries, which saw Cinderella go to the Middle East and deal with a lot of the Arabian Nights sort of fairy tales and Aladdin and stuff like that. This is her dealing with someone you've seen before, much beloved. Probably your grandma or your mom grew up with this character.
Yes. You know this character very, very well.
Oh, yeah. It's been beaten over your head for years. And I don't want to give it away because it's sort of the twist on the book, but it's Cinderella as James Bond. Going around the world, dealing with all these weird, quirky, out-there characters that are very much the characters you know from the stories, yet twisted in such a delightful way that...
Adult way.
I don't want to make it sound like it's
not adult.
Mature.
Mature. It's a mature twist on characters that you've known since you were a child. So as you grow, it's almost like they've grown, and it's feasible.
Yeah.
In a very absurd way.
Yeah. If you loved these characters when you were 6, now that you're 32, you don't want to read those same characters. But what if?
It's all about relating the material.
What if the exact same material was written for you as a 32-year-old?
And it's very interesting. And Cinderella is just a very enjoyable book. Fables is a very enjoyable book if you like quirky writing and things like that. Cinderella is just an extension of that with a James Bond twist, with a Bourne Identity twist, with a spy series take on it. So I love Cinderella. It is smart. It is action-packed. It is
fun
in such a way, and the art. Sean McManus, phenomenal. I mean, very much in the vein of what you've seen from Fable-style books, Jack of Fables, the literal stuff like that. But very, very much detailed, very, very, very clean lines. Which brings me to the opposite end of the spectrum, the not-so-clean take on girl power, which would be our next title.
Before we get out of there, one thing I do want to mention about this book, which you touched on.
Okay.
But I just want to reinforce, this is a fun book.
Super fun.
It's a fun book. If you're gonna from everything we've said, if you're saying to yourself, well, man, that really sounds depressing, no, it's not. It's a fun take on it. It's a funhouse mirror looking at it just from a cocked perspective version of it. But it's fun, and it really does try to keep the spirit of the original characters.
Super fun, and that's sort of the thing is you can't deal with this sort of adult material. And again, I should have said mature, but spies, killing people, drama, cities
in a
and
fun
people's
way.
lives at stake. Yes,
way.
it's heavy stuff, but it's done in such a joyful, jubilant sort of way. So it's the opposite of what's going on here.
Now, taking a hard right turn into the dark side is Jennifer Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Which is tons of fun.
Well, you know what it is? It is Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
So there's a very lighthearted approach to very hardcore, grisly sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm on the fence with this book because in a lot of ways, Garth Ennis has done this before with Punisher. I mean, it's a person who goes out with guns and kills bad guys because they're bad guys. Yeah. But the twist is it's a woman who is a mom and a family person.
June Cleaver.
And
she's
so
June Cleaver by day.
Now, I've heard, and I believe I read this in an interview somewhere, that the story of this miniseries is supposed to be set over a period of 7 days. Okay. So it's not like she's been doing this for years. But at the same time, she has like a cache of weapons in her house and a secret identity.
And she seems to have an awful lot of training.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to understand, and that's the thing is this is told from a journal perspective. It's like her... It's Jennifer Blood's war journal.
I was just going to say, it's like a war journal, like someone else we know who has a war journal.
Someone else that Garth Ennis has written very, very prominently.
Well, the bitch I've heard about this online is, and I don't know how you feel about it, but this is the Punisher with tits. That's essentially what this book is. Even more crazy in the head Punisher.
Maybe.
Not that Frank Castle's an out there. Well, she's. I mean, she leads 2 lives. She essentially has a secret identity. She's making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the kids and correcting homework and doing dishes and hoping that the husband, can take the car in to get the brakes done, and doing all this stuff by day. And then, oh, look at that, 7 o'clock, I have to go kill people. And then, boom, she goes out and does it and then comes back home and goes, boy, I hope I can get all this blood off me before I got to make oatmeal in the morning.
She sneaks her family Valium. She crushes her Valium and drugs her kids and her husband.
What the hell?
I'm just saying, something goes wrong one day with that, and all of a sudden your family has to take a drug test, and there's massive amounts of Valium, and there's this, and I don't know.
Okay, just something else I want to bring up, which we haven't talked about. You talked about another book about 2 weeks ago called Twilight Avenger.
Twilight Guardian.
Twilight Guardian. Another female character who is off her meds, apparently.
Yes.
Which you talked about a lot because the character is apparently not right in the head.
Right.
She was sleeping in people's lawns and looking in people's windows and writing these moronic Crime Stopper tips.
Oh, yeah.
Now, obviously, the tone's different.
Oh, yeah.
But if you come down to the essence of the character, how is that character different from this character?
The Twilight Guardian stories, while still dealing with people who aren't quite functioning mentally quite properly, it is very much more in awe of the hero genre.
Yeah.
Whereas this is much more Garth Ennis's good guys are still bad guys in a lot of ways sort of story. Jennifer Blood...
But both seem to have mental problems.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, this is so early on. I mean, she appears to be June Cleaver in 1 second and Painkiller Jane the next. But we don't know why. And that was one of my biggest gripes with it. Is not the story is so much similar to everything I've seen or so outside of the box. It's I don't know why this is going on, and I don't have any sort of idea as to whether or not I'm going to care. But if I buy all 5 issues, maybe I'll find out in the last 3 pages through a whole lot of exposition that we don't get at all.
Well, I'm sure that Ennis will reveal what it is earlier than that, and he'll spoon feed it out more within the plot than dumping it in the last 3 pages.
I would hope so, and I'm just kind of wondering if, whereas Twilight Guardian is one story that seems sort of limitless in its possibilities because, if she is mentally challenged or whatever, you can do a lot with that. This almost seems like it has a shelf date, like a sell-by date on it. You know what I mean? This story. Well, because if the story is supposed to take place over a period of 7 days, if this character has this one main motivation, and once that's over, what's her possible reason for continuing? How long can it possibly be before some bloodthirsty woman gets caught and her husband wants to leave her and take her kids, and she has to kill her husband to get her kids? I mean, I don't know. It just seems like this is an idea that'll jump the shark faster than the other one.
I'm pulling this out of my ass, but I would assume, knowing the way Garth Ennis writes, that there's something up with the husband. At some point in the storyline, you're going to find out that the husband is really, that this is a Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing, that he's doing his own stuff off on the side that she doesn't know about, and at some point they're going to bump into each other while they're in the midst of doing something horrible, and it's going to be, honey, sweetheart, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
But see, that's
I'm killing gangsters. Well, I'm a gangster.
that only succeeds in making it more derivative.
And
You know
he's
what I mean?
sneaking amphetamines to the kids. So
You know.
he sneaks some Valium, he sneaks some amphetamines.
Uppers and downs.
They're going to come home and the kids are both going to be dead from a
They
drug
spin
overdose.
like tops.
So I don't know, dude. I'm on the fence with Jennifer Blood. It's Ennis, so if you enjoy Ennis and you enjoy his ultraviolet,
It's very violent.
ultraviolent
Violent.
stylings, then you'll be into it. But I'm waiting to see where it goes before I invest anything else in it.
Okay. And that's it. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. We got no more chicks with guns. All the chicks with guns can stop by the store anytime they want and talk to us. I mean, really.
I don't want to be here.
Be
with
happy to-
anybody with a gun,
be happy
stop
to
and
talk-
buy
Guns
anyone.
at
Well,
home.
not a real one.
Hey man, you
Obviously.
said it.
But you go to the store's website, though, and check out all his reviews right now.
I will.
And
Right now.
And where's the store's website at? Where's the store's website at?
Talk to Sarah.
Oh, okay.
www.myalternatereality.com. I heard they used it to stop prison riots.
So go to the store's website and check out all his reviews. And until next time, this is Comic Book Man
And this is Sweet Dan Sweet.
saying... What am I saying? Oh, bye!
Dramatic pause.
Alternate Reality is located at 3149 West 111th Street. That's the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in Chicago, the beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood neighborhood. You can always reach us at 773-881-HERO or at the store's website, www.myalternatereality.com.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.